With Pickett drafted 20th overall by Pittsburgh in 2022, now traded for the third time in his career, the move underscores a franchise in disarray, grappling with mounting pressure from fans, media, and former players like TJ. The trade, coupled with Stefanski's controversial handling of rookie Shedeur Sanders, has fueled speculation about a disconnect between the coach and GM Andrew Berry, raising questions about Stefanski's job security. As Cleveland navigates this storm, the spotlight is on whether embracing Sanders, a fifth-round steal, could salvage Stefanski's tenure, or if the Browns' mismanagement has already sealed his fate. The Browns' quarterback room has been a lightning rod all offseason. Initially, Stefanski backed Pickett as the starter, despite his lackluster 62.4% completion rate and 79.3 passer rating across 30 career games. Pickett's hamstring injury in training camp, which sidelined him for all 3 preseason games, opened the door for Joe Flacco, a 40-year-old veteran, to claim the Week 1 nod. Meanwhile, rookies Dillon Gabriel 3rd round and Shedeur Sanders 5th round battled for relevance, with Sanders stealing the show in his preseason debut against Carolina, 14 of 23 for 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 19-yard scramble. Yet Stefanski kept Sanders at QB3, even behind an injured Pickett and Gabriel, a decision that baffled analysts like Ryan Clark, who argued Sanders hasn't been given the reps he deserves. The trade of Pickett to the Raiders, prompted by their need for a backup after Aidan O'Connell's wrist injury, clarifies the depth chart. Flacco Gabriel Sanders but exposes deeper issues in Cleveland's strategy. Stefanski's handling of Sanders has drawn intense scrutiny. His vague press conference responses, "We do what the players need, and I'm committed to his development," clashed with his actions. Sanders, despite a standout college career at Colorado, 74% completion, 7.4 average depth of target, was denied first-team reps and benched in the Rams' preseason finale after a shaky 3 of 6 for 14 yards and 5 sacks. TJ Housemann-Zada didn't hold back, accusing Stefanski of personal bias against Sanders, suggesting the coach was setting him up to stumble by fielding a porous offensive line that led to Sanders' minor arm soreness. House claimed that Stefanski showed little interest in putting Sanders in a position to thrive, resonated with fans, who flooded X with outrage. "Shedeur should be our starter." The perception of favoritism toward Pickett, who was traded after failing to seize the starting role, has only intensified calls for Stefanski's dismissal. The Pickett trade reeks of a front office course correction. Berry, who acquired Pickett in March for a 2025 fifth-rounder and Dorian Thompson-Robinson, recouped a 2026 fifth-round pick, essentially breaking even. But the move signals a lack of alignment with Stefanski, who stood by Pickett despite his 4.2 yards per attempt in limited 2024 action with Philadelphia. The decision to waive Tyler Huntley and release several defensive linemen post-Rams game further highlights Berry's willingness to override Stefanski's vision. Huntley's 2-minute stint in the preseason finale, replacing Sanders, sparked its own controversy, with fans and media questioning why a rookie with Sanders' upside was pulled. Berry's drastic roster shakeup suggests he's responding to the 2024 season's 3-14 disaster and fan pressure, but it leaves Stefanski exposed, with reports swirling that his job is on the line. Sanders remains the key to Cleveland's future and Stefanski's survival. His preseason flashes, 152 yards, 2 touchdowns across 2 games, showed a fearless playmaker with franchise potential. LeBron James' ex-post, praising Sanders' grace under pressure, amplified the hype. Yet Stefanski's reluctance to elevate him, even after Pickett's exit, feels like a refusal to embrace a potential star. Marcus Spears, Swagoo, questioned why the Browns wouldn't test Sanders in live games. If your franchise guy is in the locker room, find out. With Deshaun Watson sidelined for at least 4 games due to an Achilles injury, the Browns face a critical juncture. Gabriel, now QB2, offers a safer floor with his 25 of 37 for 272 yards in the preseason, but his 5 feet 11 inches frame and conservative style pale against Sanders' arm talent and charisma. The fan base is fracturing. The dog pound, already restless after years of quarterback woes, sees Sanders as a savior, chanting his name on X and in forums. The Rams game, despite its flaws, showcased Sanders' ability to deliver under pressure. A 20-yard dart through double coverage silenced doubters momentarily. But Stefanski's post-game dismissal of Sanders' performance as part of the process and his refusal to name a backup behind Flacco fueled perceptions of bias. Housemann-Zada's warning that the calls for Stefanski's firing will grow if Sanders' sideline looms large. If Gabriel or Flacco falters in Week 1 against Cincinnati, the pressure to play Sanders will be deafening, and Stefanski's development rhetoric won't hold. The Browns' chaos reflects a deeper identity crisis. Are they a franchise that trusts its talent or one paralyzed by indecision? Trading Pickett was a pragmatic move, but sidelining Sanders risks alienating a fan base desperate for hope. Barry's roster overhaul, including cutting Huntley and defensive linemen, suggests AGM trying to assert control, but it leaves Stefanski as the fall guy. If Sanders had been traded, instead a rumored possibility that would have sparked league-wide outrage, the backlash would have been catastrophic. Instead, the Browns are betting on Flacco's experience and Gabriel's readiness while stashing Sanders as a developmental piece. But as Clark noted, without game reps, you can't judge his ceiling. If Sanders shines in practice or gets claimed off waivers, a risk after his release was floated. Cleveland could lose a star for nothing. Stefanski's path forward hinges on Sanders. Embracing the rookie could quiet critics and repair his image. A single start, say, Week 4 against Baltimore, could showcase Sanders' poise and shift the narrative. But if Stefanski continues to prioritize Gabriel or clings to Flacco, the whispers of a coaching change will become a roar. Barry's bold moves signal he's not afraid to act. And Stefanski's 11-24 record since 2023 doesn't inspire confidence. The Browns' season, and Stefanski's job, may rest on whether he can swallow his pride and give Sanders a real shot. What's your take? Has Stefanski's loyalty to Pickett and reluctance with Sanders doomed him? Can starting Sanders save his job? Or is the front office's chaos too much to overcome? Will Cleveland regret trading Pickett or sidelining Sanders? Drop your thoughts in the comments.